ain't Sunday drive racing. This is Bluegrass War. Klay on the tires, lights on the wall. 50 laps standing between rise or fall. Pro-lay models rolling through the smoke. Every driver here got something to prove, no joke. Grandstands rumble, feel it in your chest. Fairbury dirt, putting courage to the test. No lift, no mercy, pedal down tight. This is where legends earn their Friday night. Helmets buckle, radio scream. One shot at glory in a short track dream. Our old battle of the blue-red. Hear the thunder roar. 50 laps of chaos, begging for more. Door to door, no giving an inch. Every pass a gamble, every lap a flinch. Ride rear race and bring it in it tonight. Bluegrass battle on the Fairbury line. Rear ends kicking, sliders fly. Chrome horns talking when the leaders collide. Veterans hungry, rookies unchained. Checkers, old records, only way to play the game. Lap traffic lurking, patience wears thin. One wrong move and it all caves in. Crowd on their feet, feel that sound. This ain't just racing, this is battleground. On the road, battle of the do-rag. Feel the ground shake, every corner's a risk, every move's a break. Pro-lay models showing what they got. 50 laps to decide who takes the top. Right rear race and bringing heat tonight. Bluegrass battle at Fairbury lights. Turn it up, lock it down. Green flag waves, let 'em pound. No fear, all gas. Only one taking that checkered flag. All over old battle of the blue wreck. This is prime time speed, short track soul, and a whole lot of need. From the green to the checkers, we're here for the fight. Right rear racing, you're watching it live tonight. 50 laps, one crown, Fairbury Speedway. Burn it down. Pro-late models, 50 laps. You're watching Ride Rear Racing.
And welcome back here on your Sunday evening for your Battle of the Bluegrass, presented by Klay Comm. As tonight we take on 50 laps here at Fairbury for your Falls Frenzy. Caleb Todd will have to start at the back of the field for his feature event here tonight, as he won the last two races. As these guys are currently kind of trying to break this track in and get it going for tonight's, so that way we have a racy track throughout the field on the top and the bottom. But who's going to come home with the win tonight, and we'll find out here within the next hour or so. And we'll like to thank some sponsors here for the Battle of the Bluegrass series. Again, it's presented by Klay Comm, and all your heat races are sponsored by One Source Exterior. We have our hard charger sponsor for tonight for your main event is going to be Todd Steel Buildings. And at the lap 25, your halfway leader sponsor, that's going to go to Big Al's Guns. Thanks to those sponsors for what they do for the series here with the Battle of the Bluegrass. And I'm trying to pull up your points here. And this is without your drop week. We're going to have Caleb Todd sitting first, Drew Hopkins in second, Bobby Madley in third, Justin Benefield in fourth, and rounding out your top 5 is going to go to Evan Hinkle. 6th is Dalton Brown, 7th is Cody McDonald, Jace Lear in 8th, Chance Lay in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be Alan McDonald. Looks like the track's broke in. They're about ready to go here for your heat race action. Again, we should have 3 heat races tonight, as we do have 20 drivers making the call here tonight. And Drew Hopkins is going to be your quick time during the warm-up session, trying to break the track in once again. As we take a step back and take a look at the track. I don't know what's going on there. And if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that follow or hit that subscription button and get notified for any live that we go do here on Right Rear Racing. We should be going racing here soon, as all the cars are pulled off, parked there in the pits. You see the track, how it looks there, going into 3 and 4 there. That looks like it's going to be a racy where we're going to have the top and the bottom on both ends of the track, actually. As these drivers do the final touches to their cars. And thank you everyone for liking the videos, sharing the videos, greatly appreciated. Again, we're going to have 3 heat races tonight, followed by your main event. Those heat races are going to be a random generated heat race. We do have points on the line for them as well. And we're nearing the end of the season here with the Battle of the Bluegrass presented by Klay Comm. Next week on the 28th of December, we're going to go to Lucas Oil for your Diamond Nationals. Again, that's going to be 50 laps around Lucas Oil. And then we're going to finish out the season at Cedar Lake on January the 4th for the USA 100. Who's going to end up taking home the win here tonight and those 2 nights as well. That's going to be, you can catch all that action right here on Right Rear Racing. As the checker flag is being waved here on to these drivers, even though they're already parked there, we are going to our first One Source Exterior heat race. And for your One Source Exterior heat race number 1, we're going to see the number 30 of Bobby Madley on the pole, with Dawson Chambers on his outside and car number 88. Inside row number 2 has Jace Lear in the 1 machine, with Philip Neese on his outside in the 38. Row 3 has Cody McDonald in the 8 machine on the inside, with Matthew Terry on his outside in the 27. And rounding out the field for your heat race number 1 is going to go to Race Cash in the 109. As we take a look at these drivers here on the front stretch, they're all lined up, ready to go here to get us underway for your One Source Exterior Heat Race number 1. As they work their way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. As they're coming off turn number 4, they're getting the rolled up green flag as we set to go green next time around. Again, this is going to be an 8-lap heat race. As the pace truck does dive off the back straightaway into the infield, the field is set and ready to go down the back straightaway. Going in turn number 3, Bobby Mattingly and Dawson Chambers are going to lead the field in 3 and 4, and Bobby Mattingly is going to hit that loud pedal and get us underway for your One Source Exterior Heat Race number 1. Jay Slater in that one machine, he's going to follow suit right there in second, slide up, coming off turn 2 as they work their way down the back straightaway. Look at the 28 there. That's going to be Cody McDonald. He's trying to work that bottom side in 3 and 4 as he's trying to battle there for second with Jay Slater on the outside still with 1 lap in the books. The one machine is working the outside. The 28's working the bottom there side by side, going down the back straightaway into turn number 3 as they work their way off of turn number 4. Give the second spot to the 28 of Cody McDonald. Now Cody's going to try to reel in Bobby Mattingly in that 30 machine, who's being smooth up there in the front of the field as we try to find a different angle here for you. And we are going to have our first caution of the night coming on lap number 3 of Heat Race 1. As we go take a look here with Matthew Terry in the 27 machine as he goes into the turn there. That's in 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. And goes into turn number 3. And hits that tractor tire there in 3 and 4. And the other 3 drivers behind him ended up missing him. And that's going to that's the reason why the caution flag came out. Now that's going to be Bobby Mattingly in the 30 machine out front, followed by the 28 of Cody McDonald, the 1 of Jay Slater in 3rd. Dawson Chambers, he's moved back to the 4th position. Philip Neese in the 38 machine will be in 5th. Race Cash in the 109 is going to be in 6th, and Matthew Terry is going to go back to the back here as he did bring out that caution. They just received the rolled up green flag. We're set to go underway next time around. As you see, the field is stacking it up, and we're going to go side by side double file racing here. The lap tracker up there on the top will reset once we go green, as caution laps do not count during here, or don't count here, sorry. As Bobby Mattingly is going to hit that loud pedal and get us back underway for Heat Race number 1 action. Here comes Cody McDonald trying to work that outside there. Here comes Jay Slater on the bottom. We're going to be side by side working their way down the back straightaway. This is going to be a battle for second between the 1 and the 28, but the 28's went in battle for the lead as he's going to try to get a good run here down the front straightaway as we are halfway through with Heat Race number 1. The 28 machine is still rocking that outside and making it work. Here comes the 1 of Jay Slater working that bottom side, trying to make a pass on the 28 as they come off turn number 4. The 30 of Bobby Mattingly still holding on. We're going to stay back here in second and watch this battle between Jace and Cody as they work their way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. As they work off of turn number 4, they're getting the popsicle sticks as we have 2 laps remaining here in Heat Race number 1. Again, this is presented by One Source Exterior. Bobby Mattingly is trying to take the win here as he's working his way off turn number 4. He's getting the white flag with 1 lap remaining. Here comes Cody McDonald. He's going to be right there on the bumper as they work their way through 1 and 2. Here he looks down low, coming off turn 2. Down the back straightaway, can Bobby Mattingly hold on to the lead as they work their way through 3 and 4. We're going to be side by side coming off turn number 4 and give it to Bobby Mattingly in that 30 machine, taking the win. The 28 of Cody McDonald is going to finish in second, and Jay Slater will round out your top 3. Philip Neese in the 38 machine is going to finish 4th, rounding out your top 5 in Heat Race number 1. Goes to Matthew Terry in the 27 machine. The 109 of Race Cash finishes 6th, and Dawson Chambers in the 88 machine rounds out the field. And Heat Race number 2, again, is presented by One Source Exterior. And starting on the pole is going to be the 157 of Drew Hopkins. On his outside is going to be Darren in the 68. Inside row number 2 has Dalton Brown in the 23 machine. On his outside is Brady Lear in the 69. Row number 3 has Blaine Shepard in the 10 machine on the inside with Justin Benefield in the 12 machine on his outside. And rounding out the field for your heat race number 2 action is going to be Chance Slay in the 22 machine. Again, the field is set. They're all stacked up, ready to go. As they work their way off of turn number 4, they're going to get the rolled up green flag as we're set to go underway next time around. The pace truck's going to dive off the back straightaway here, and Drew Hopkins is going to bring the field into turn number 3. And Drew's going to hit that loud pedal as he's coming off turn number 4. He's set underway here in heat race number 2 action. Dalton Brown's going to work that outside as Darren's going to try to work that bottom in that 23 machine. Sorry, that's Dalton Brown in that 23 machine working the bottom there, and Darren in the 68, or I guess in the 83 on the track, as we have a battle again for second here in heat race number 2. That's going to allow Drew Hopkins to get a little bit of gap separation there between Darren and Dalton, as those two are still side by side. They're the ones that you see on the screen. The 83 is going to be Darren. He's working that bottom side in 1 and 2, and as he goes in turn number 3, he's going to be down there. Here comes the 23 of Dalton Brown trying to get the outside going, still trying to hold on to the 3rd position, as Chance Slay in that 22 machine was trying to get that bottom side going as they work their way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. The 23 Dalton Brown's going to try to get that bottom side going once again, as we are now halfway through with heat race number 2 here. Now Dalton's going to go back up high. We're going to have a battle for 3rd between Dalton and Chance, as Chance in that 22 machine is trying to work that bottom side, and Dalton's working the outside. We're going to, at the line, give it to Dalton Brown in that 23 machine. And next time around for Drew and the field, they're going to see the popsicle sticks as we have 2 laps remaining here. Drew's working the bottom side in 1 and 2. It looks like he's working top in 3 and 4, as Darren in that 83 machine is going to be settled in to 2nd place. He's going to try to hold off Chance Slay, as we do have 1 lap remaining here in heat race number 2 action. Chance Slay has moved up into your 3rd spot. Dalton Brown is trying to hold on to the 4th spot from Justin Benefield, as Justin's trying to work that bottom side as they work going in turn number 3. Drew Hopkins is going to take the win. Darren's going to finish in 2nd. Chance Slay rounds out your top 3. Dalton Brown held on to the 4th position, and Justin Benefield rounds out your top 5. And in 6, we had Blaine Shepard in the 10 machine, and Brady Lear round out the field for your One Source Exterior heat race number 2. And your One Source Exterior heat race number 3's on the grid now with Josh Davis in the 18 machine starting on the pole. And on his outside is going to be Tyler Parsons in the 17. Inside row number 2 has Caleb Todd in the 115. Again, he's won the last 2 weeks, so he's going to get his starting spot here for the heat race, but will be at the back of the field to start the feature. And on his outside is going to be Brian Swafford in the 010. Inside row number 3 has Zach King in the 14 with Alan McDonald on his outside in the 47. And rounding out the field for heat race number 3, again presented by One Source Exterior, is going to see Evan Hinkle in the 11 machine. They just received the rolled up green flag. We're set to go underway next time around, as we see him come off turn number 2. The pace truck's going to dive off into the infield. The field is going to be led by Josh Davis and Tyler Parsons as they work their way through 3 and 4, and we're in that start zone. And Josh Davis is going to hit that lob pedal and get us underway here. And Tyler Parsons got a good jump there on the outside. He's going to try to work that outside through 1 and 2. As we're still going to be side by side, here comes the 115 of Caleb Todd. He's looking down low. We have a caution flag. We're going to go back to the original restart. As we go take a look at what happened here, we go with Evan Hinkle here. Everyone kind of brake checked there on the bottom, and that's what brought out the caution here in heat race number 3 action. Again, we're going to have a original restart here as Josh Davis in the black 17 on your screen. He's going to be on the pole with Tyler Parsons in the white 17 on the outside. Caleb Todd, again, your two-time winner for the last 2 weeks, is going to start third here in that 115. And the field just received the rolled up green flag. We're set to go underway next time around. The pace truck dives off there on the back straightaway as Josh and Tyler are ready to go here, going in turn number 3. They're in that restart zone, the 17 or the 18 of Josh Davis is going to hit that loud pedal and get us underway as he leads us in turn number 1. He's going to go up high. Here comes Caleb Todd working the bottom side in off of 2 and down the back straightaway. Give the lead to Caleb as they come off turn number 4. And lap number 1 in the books here is going to go to Caleb Todd. Zach King in that 14 machine, he's moved up to second, with Evan Hinkle in that 7 machine moved up to third. And we have a battle here for second as Evan's going to look underneath as it was Zach King that pushed up there coming off of 4. Now Evans in that 7 machine, he's going to try to reel in Caleb Todd in that 115. As Zach King's still trying to work that bottom here as we are now halfway through with heat race number 3. Again, it's presented by One Source Exterior. And Caleb Todd is working up there still. Evan Hinkle in second. Zach King is trying to hold off Brian Swafford. Sorry, that was not Zach King's. That's going to be Brian Swafford and Tyler Parsons. We do have one over on a slid, as I think that is Josh Davis. Josh pushes there, makes contact with the 10 machine as they came off turn number 4. Going back up the track there, down the front straightaway, and spins it out right there, makes contact with the 47 of McDonald and hits that tractor tire and ends up flipping her over. And that's what brought up your second caution for heat race number 3. And the driver that didn't want to see that caution flag come out, that's going to be Caleb Todd in that 115 machine. The 7 of Evan Hinkle is going to be right there on his bumper for this single file restart. Zach King in the 14 machine is going to be in third. Brian Swafford in the 10 machine fourth. Alan McDonald in the 47 fifth. Tyler Parsons in the 17 machine will be sixth. And Josh Davis has made his way to the pit road. As the field just received the rolled up green flag, we're set to go underway next time around. As the pace truck pulls off there on the back straightaway. Going in turn number 3 there. Waiting, hit that loud pedal. Caleb Todd's going to hit that loud pedal. Evan's going to be right there on his bumper on that start, as that's a good restart for your second place driver of Evan Hinkle in that 7 machine as they work their way through 1 and 2. Caleb Todd's still going to try to hold off Evan here on your last closing laps as they just receive the white flag as we have 1 lap remaining here in heat race number 3 action. The 115 is still running the middle side and Evan's working the bottom. They're working into turn number 3 for the last time here in heat race number 3. As they come off turn number 4, give the win to Caleb Todd with Evan Hinkle in second and Zach King rounding out your top 3. And the rest of your results for heat race number 3 presented by One Source Exterior. We have Brian Swafford in the 10 machine finishes 4th, Alan McDonald 5th, Tyler Parsons 6th, and Josh Davis rounds out the field for heat race number 3. We're going to take a quick break here on your racing action before we start our 50-lap main event here tonight. Again, thanks to all the sponsors here with Battle of the Bluegrass. Again, we have Comm. Battle of the Bluegrass is presented by Comm. Your heat races are sponsored by One Source Exterior. We're going to have our Hard Charger Award. It's going to be presented by Todd Steele's Buildings. The halfway leader sponsor goes to Big Al's Guns. Thanks to all the sponsors here with the Battle of the Bluegrass. I'm going to take a moment, get a drink, get ready for your 50 laps here tonight.
All right, listen up. Heats are over. The chalk's on the board. The lineup is locked. And now, it's time to find out who's got it. is heavy, but so is the stair. From the back stretch to turn one, history's waiting, or it's done. Line up, lock, green flag near every heartbeat, pounding fear. 50 laps standing in the way of a streak that could rewrite race day. Right rear racing got the best seat tonight. Battle of the Bluegrass style Fairbury nights. From the back to the front, 3 in a row, oh, the run is done. Dig deep, no lift, this is where legends exist. Line rear, right up, lock, this is the main event. Every ounce of power, every ounce spent. Can Caleb Todd shock the field once more? 3 straight wins or chaos galore. Right rear racing.
And we have your starting lineup here for your main event for your Falls Frenzy. And starting on the pole, we're going to see the 30 of Bobby Madeley. On his outside is going to be the 157 of Drew Hopkins. Caleb Todd, original start spot, is going to be on the inside row. And on the inside of row number 2 in that 115, again, he's going to go to the back of the field as he's won the last 2 weeks. Cody McDonald on his outside in that 8 machine. Row number 3 has Darren in the 68. On his outside is going to be Evan Hinkle in the 11 machine. Row number 4 is going to have Jace Lear in the 1 on the inside with Chance Lay on the outside in the 22. Zach King on the inside of row number 5. On his outside is going to be Philip Neese. As the field is about to go here, I believe. In row 6 is going to be Dalton Brown and Brian Swafford. As we're set to go here, and coming off turn number 4, it's going to be Bobby Madeley taking the field to the green as he's looking on the middle of the track here in 1 and 2. Again, sorry for not getting that full starting lineup out. As the 157 of Drew Hopkins, he's going to work that bottom side in 3 and 4 as they come off on the front straightaway into 1. Bobby Madeley is still going to try to hold off Drew Hopkins here in that 157 machine. We have a battle here for the lead early on in the race as the 130 machine is going to be working the middle of the track, and Drew Hopkins is working about 2 cars lower as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3. It's going to be Bobby Madeley, Drew Hopkins, and Darren in that 83 machine for your top 3. We're going to go back there to Evan Hinkle in that 7 machine. He is in 4th. He has Jace Lear working the outside. We're having a battle here for 4th between the 7 and the 1. They're going to go 3 wide off turn number 4 here. That's going to be for your 5th position. That's going to be Cody McDonald, Jace Lear, and Dalton Brown all battling it out for your 5th position as they work their way off turn 2, down the back straightaway into turn number 3. The 23 machine of Dalton Brown's going to work the bottom side as they work their way off turn number 4. Again, this is your battle for 5th on your screen. We're going to go back up to the front as Drew Hopkins is looking down low, down the back straightaway into turn number 3. We're going to be side by side for the lead as they work their way off turn number 4. Give the lead to Bobby Madeley still as they work their way down into 1 and coming off 2. Now Drew's working that bottom side as Bobby's working the high side. Going into turn number 3, coming off turn number 4 as Drew's going to have a little bit of run there, and it's still Bobby at the line as they're still working side by side, battle for your lead between the 157 and the 30. As they work their way off turn number 4, give the lead to Drew Hopkins in that 157 machine with the 30 of Bobby Madeley right there on his bumper through 1 and 2, down the back straightaway into turn number 3. We're inching up close to your lap traffic here as their lap traffic is working their way off turn 2 as we're going in turn number 1. And the driver to watch out for so far has been Caleb Todd. He's worked his way from the back of the field, and he's currently in the 12th position, 13th position. We're going to go back to your 3rd place battle here between Evan Hinkle and Darren, as those two are going to be side by side through 3 and 4, going down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Darren's going to work the bottom side. Evan's going to go to the outside as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3. The 83 machine of Darren's holding on to the 3rd position as they work their way through 1 and 2. That's going to be Dalton Brown in that 23 machine. He's going to be running out your top 5, trying to look at on the inside of Evan Hinkle. And lap traffic does not seem to be too much of a factor for Drew Hopkins and Bobby Madeley, as they've already made their way around some lap traffic here as they're working the bottom side of the track. And that's going to be Darren. That's going to slow up Darren just a little bit, it seems like, with that lap traffic. And that's going to allow Evan to be right there to try to close the door, as Darren's going to get a good run on the lap traffic, move up, and we're going to be side by side through 3 and 4. The 23 machine, he's working a little bit lower, as we have a battle for fourth on your screen between the 23 and the 7, as this 23 is working the bottom side, the 7 is working the middle of the track. He's trying to stay off the lap traffic and the car below him and give the fourth position to Dalton Brown in that 23 machine. But here comes Evan Hinkle. He's working on the bottom, having a little bit of contact going into turn number 1, and Evan's going to let up just a little bit there and gain the car back up and try to get going once again. As he does that, so that's going to allow Cody McDonald in that 28 machine to make a pass. As the 17 machine up there on the outside, that's going to be a lap traffic. Here comes the 23 of Dalton Brown. He's still working that bottom side. He's looking to battle for third as they work their way off turn number 4. Give the third spot to the 23 of Dalton Brown. Now, Dalton Brown, he's trying to reel in Bobby Madeley here, as we do have chaos there. That was Darren ended up pushing there, and he's moved back to your 6th spot. And as we go back up to the front, that's going to be Drew Hopkins still leading the field, as he has a 1.5 second gap on Bobby Madeley in that 30 machine. Dalton Brown, he's been working that bottom side, getting it going. He's moved up 8 spots so far, and he's sitting in 3rd. Cody McDonald in the 28 machine is going to be 4th. And rounding out your top 5, you see that red car up there on the outside. That's going to be Evan Hinkle rounding out your top 5 as he's working the bottom side here through 1 and 2. As they come off 2 down the back straightaway, the 23 of Dalton Brown is going to be right there in front of your battle for 4th. And that battle is going to be between Cody McDonald and Evan Hinkle as they work their way through 1 and 2. As they come off turn 2, it's still going to be Cody McDonald holding on to that 4th spot as the 17 on the outside. That's going to be lap traffic once again, as they're trying to stay off the lap traffic there in the turns. And as we are now halfway through, your halfway point leader is going presented by Big Al's Guns, is going to be Drew Hopkins in that 157. And as we go watch him for a little bit, he's still just working that bottom and getting it going. We're going to go back to Bobby Madeley. Let's go back here to Evan Hinkle and Cody McDonald. That's Evans working the outside. He's getting the outside going. He's moved up into your 4th spot. Now he's going to look for 3rd as he's trying to get some momentum here off of 4. As he gets momentum, we do have a caution coming out. I think Evan might have found something there on the outside, as Josh Davis in the 17 machine. That's why we have the caution come out. Someone lost a spoiler there. That's going to be the 115 of Caleb Todd, as we follow along with 17, hits the outside wall, and that was the 83. That's going to be Darren, who was right there, and that's what's the reason why we have the caution here tonight. As we get everyone's line back up here, again, it's Drew Hopkins, Bobby Madeley, Dalton Brown, Cody McDonald, and Evan Hinkle for your top 5. Jay Slater is going to be 6th, Justin Benefield in 7th, Zach King in 8th, Philip Neese 9th, and Matthew Terry rounds out your top 10. And the field just received the rolled up green flag. They're going to stack them back up here quickly as they go into turn number 1. The pace truck's going to pull off here on the back straightaway. Drew Hopkins is going to be on the bottom side, Bobby Madeley on the outside, Dalton Brown on the inside, row number 2 with Evan Hinkle on the outside here as they work their way into turn number 3. Drew Hopkins is going to hit that loud pedal and get us back underway here for your 50 laps. As Drew's working that bottom side, Bobby's going to go up high. Down the back straightaway, Drew's going to go back to the bottom of that 157 machine, as I clicked on the wrong name there. Sorry about that. Here comes Evan Hinkle looking on the bottom side. He's looking for 3rd, looking for 2nd in 1 and 2. Decided not to. Here comes Dalton Brown looking down low in 3 and 4. As they work their way off turn number 4, we're going to be side by side, and Evan Hinkle is going to get your 3rd spot. We do have another caution flag coming out, as we go back and take a look at it with Blaine Shepard in that 10 machine. As he's working the bottom side there. Coming off turn number 2, gets a little bit loose there as he comes off turn 2. The 115 and the 47 make contact. The 47 comes back down, hits him in the right rear, and ends up spinning him out there going in turn number 3, with the 69 being right there as well. And that's what brought out your second caution of your feature event here tonight. If my ticker is correct, that's over on the left-hand side of the screen. Your current Todd Steele Building's hard charger is going to be Dalton Brown, who's running in third in that 23 machine. And track officials did not like this lineup. We're going to go green next time around, as they just got the rolled up green flag once again. As we're working our way off 3 and 4 here, Drew Hopkins is going to get us back underway as Evan Hinkle's working that bottom side there, 1 and 2. He's going to try to make a pass on Bobby Madley, but here comes Dalton Brown in that 23 machine. He's going to cross over here down the front straightaway, take over your third spot from Evan Hinkle, as Evan's going to be right there. We're also having a battle for your lead. We're going to look 4 wide going into turn number 3. The 157 of Drew Hopkins is going to take the lead back here as Bobby Madley is working the bottom side. We're going to be, here comes a slide job from Drew Hopkins and crossover from Bobby Madley. Again, this is a battle for your lead on your screen between Bobby and Drew as they work their way through 3 and 4. Evan Hinkle, he's looking right there as well with the slide job. We are now 15 laps remaining here in your main event as Bobby Madley is now your leader as they work their way off the back straightaway into turn number 3. Drew Hopkins is looking down low through 3 and 4. Evan Hinkle's throwing a slide job there to maintain the third spot. And as they go into turn number 1, it's still Bobby Madley in that 30 machine holding on to the lead, trying to hold off Drew Hopkins once again. Working their way through 3 and 4 as they come off turn number 4. It's still going to be Bobby Madley, and we do have another caution flag here. Now we go taking another look here as we follow along with Brady Lear in that 69 machine. He goes on the outside there in 3 and 4. And he's looking down low in turn 1. As soon as he does, he went in there a little bit too hot and slapped the 17 machine. And that's what brought out the caution right there in front of the leaders too. And we had racing action there on that restart from Bobby Madley and Drew Hopkins. Those two are racing side by side. And then we had Evan Hinkle and Dalton Brown. They're racing side by side. Try to keep up with both of them. I can't do that, but I'm going to try my best with all the action here. And the pace truck's going to pull back out on the front straightaway. And we should be going next time around as they're receiving the rolled up green flag this time. Again, it's going to be Bobby Madley in that 30 machine. He's going to be starting on the inside with the 157 of Drew Hopkins on the outside. Evan Hinkle's going to be right behind Bobby there in the second row. And the 23 of Dalton Brown for your top 4 there as they work their way down the back straightaway into turn number 3. As they come off turn 4, Bobby Madley is hitting that loud pedal and get us back underway here as Evan Hinkle's working the bottom side. He's going to look through a slide job here, and he's not going to clear it. And that's going to allow Dalton Brown to look on the bottom side down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Evan's working the outside. We're going to be side by side for third. And it's going to still be your top 3, Bobby, Drew, and Evan as I try to figure out my ticker here. As Drew's trying to throw a slide job line there in 3 and 4 as they work their way down the front straightaway. The 157 of Drew Hopkins trying to hold off the 7 of Evan Hinkle. That's going to be a battle for second here momentarily. But here comes Drew trying to throw a slide job line there in 3 and 4. And at the line, we do have 11 laps remaining here for your Falls Frenzy with the Battle of the Bluegrass, presented by Klay. As they work their way down the back straightaway, Drew Hopkins is going to look down low in 3 and 4. And that's going to close up the gap there just a little bit as they work their way off 4 into turn number 1 as everyone's up there to the top side of the track as they work their way down the back straightaway. Drew's looking down low once again in 3 and 4. And they're going to be side by side as they come off turn number 4. But Bobby Manley is going to have a better run there every time off the top side, it looks like, as they work their way down the back straightaway. Once again, Drew's right there as well. And coming off turn 4, still Bobby Manley holding on to the lead, as Drew is trying everything to make a pass to get that lead back from Bobby. We do have lap traffic here coming up momentarily as they go into turn number 3. As they're coming off turn 4, Bobby's going to have a better run there once again when you're closing laps here tonight with 7 laps remaining for your main event. We have lap traffic here spinning up right there in front of your leaders. That's going to play a factor here as that lap traffic's going to stay down low as they work their way off turn number 4. Going into turn number 1, it's still going to be Bobby Manley, and Drew's going to hit that outside wall just a little bit as he entered turn 1, but he's looking down low in turn number 3 as Bobby's working the outside. Drew's working that bottom to middle groove as it's coming off turn 4. Bobby's still going to have a better run there off of 4. Drew's going to try to cut down lane there just a little bit off of 2. Trying to close the door and make any pass here as we do have 5 laps remaining. Make that 4 laps now as it's still Bobby Manley in that 30 machine holding on to the lead as Drew Hopkins is right there. Both drivers there, they made contact with the outside wall. Here comes the 157 looking down low. We do got lap traffic. He's going to have to slow down just a little bit as he's wanting to try to throw a slide drop line there. And we do have a caution flag, and that's going to come out for Tyler Parsons in the 17 machine as he goes into turn number 1. Coming off turn 2, got a little bit sideways, but still kept it going into turn number 3. Just went in a little bit too hot and spun her out there in 3, and then try to get off the field as quick as off the racetrack as quick as possible. And it should be a green-white checker finish here tonight with Bobby Manley, Drew Hopkins, Evan Hinkle, Dalton Brown, Jason Lear for your top 5, Cody McDonald in 6th, Matthew Terry 7th, Race Cash in 8th, and Zach King and Philip Neese both in 9th and 10th, respectively. Again, as I was saying there, everyone's names, tickers moving as well. As we're all single file ready to go here, Bobby Manley is going to lead the field into turn number 3. He's going to hit that loud pedal once again and get us back underway as he's going to get a good jump here. Drew Hopkins is going to try to close that door. Evan Hinkle's trying to hold off Dalton Brown. Again, it's not the white flag here as they are on. Trying to figure out where we're at here as the ticker's all messed up. It's still going to be Bobby Manley, Drew Hopkins. Drew's working the middle groove off of 2 down the back straightaway into turn number 3. This time around, they should be getting the white flag. As you see the white flag flying there, we have 1 lap remaining. Can Bobby Manley hold off Drew Hopkins in that 157 machine as Drew's trying to work that outside there in 1 and 2. He's looking down low, but Bobby Manley's going to go down low and try to close the door. And we're going to have a little bit of contact off of turn 4, and Bobby Manley is going to take the win here tonight for your Falls Frenzy. The 157 of Drew Hopkins in 2nd, and Evan Hinkle. And that 7 machine is going to round out your top 3. We're going to hear from your top 3 here momentarily. Finishing 4th tonight is going to be the 23 of Dalton Brown. 5th is going to go to Jace Lear in the 1 machine. Cody McDonald in the 8 machine is going to finish in 6th. Matthew Terry in the 27 machine finishes 7th. Justin Benefield in the 12 machine is 8th. And 9th goes to Brian Swafford In the 10 machine, or the 010 machine, Blaine Shepard rounds out the top 10 in his 10 machine. Caleb Todd had to work his way from the back of the field. He finishes out in 11th in his 1 on 15. Chance Slay in 12th. Philip Neese in 13th. Race Cash 14th. Zach King 15th. Darren in 16th. Alvin McDonald 17th. And Dawson Chambers in 18th. Josh Davis in 19th. 20th goes to Tyler Parsons. And rounding out the field tonight is going to go to Brady Lear in the 69 machine. Again, we're going to hear from your top 3 drivers here momentarily. And we're going to hear from your place finisher of Evan Hinkle. And Evan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, that was a kind of a technical track there, and no one was on the top yet. You were the first one to find it on the top. Then we had a caution that came out. Kind of walk us through you running that top side while everyone's still kind of running the mid to bottom of the track there. How you found it there?
Yeah, I tried it there a couple times when I fell back to fifth or fourth there, something like that. On in 1 and 2. 1 and 2 normally is the hardest to get around there for me, but tonight it wasn't. But then I was like, it's getting a pretty good run there. I was like, so I know it'll be good down in 3 and 4. So I just hoped for the best and went for it, and it worked. And I wish I'd have waited a little longer until we got that caution, and then I could have started. I think I was in fourth at that time. Started fourth and maybe blew around some of them there, and maybe finished a little better than I did.
And I think that caution did hurt you there because you showed the kind of the line that was coming in there to all the other drivers as well.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. You get uh, everybody else can see you, and they're seeing what you're doing, figuring out where you're fast. So that was only downfall to that caution, but otherwise pretty good race. Wish the racetrack would have been just a little bit better, which that's my fault on my end of telling people where to go on the racetrack when we prep it. But uh, otherwise, wasn't bad. I was hoping for at least 2 lanes, and it was for a second there. But it just ain't as fun when you're up there just beating around the boards and all that. Everybody is so. But oh well, we'll learn from that, and hopefully next year when we come back here, it'll be a little better.
Yes, sir. And y'all did put on a show there for before that last caution came out. The top 4 there, you, Drew, Bobby, and Dalton. Y'all had y'all's own races amongst each other, grouped up there, and y'all were putting on one hell of a show. I couldn't keep up with the leaders and y'all back there, both trying to slide each other and race each other. Um, that was a fun race just to watch there between those 4 at that time.
Yeah, I accidentally got into Dalton a couple times. I think I didn't mean to do that, but just had to had to get to that top to be able to stay in position because I knew if I didn't, I'd be screwed and drop really fast. So I was just hoping to stay where I was at there and try to get back to that top. So had to do our best to get back up there. And sorry to Dalton for getting into him again there.
And do you have any friends, family, or sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Mom, Dad, Smith's Gutters and Siding, Smith Sealing, Hinkle Insurance, Soller's Classic Cars, Todd Metals, Marlar Trailer Sales, and Smith Farms. If I'm forgetting anybody, I'm sorry. Oh, Hoosier Tires South. But and thank the good Lord for letting us come out here and have some fun. None of this would be possible without him.
Yes, sir. Again, congratulations on your third place finish here tonight with 2 races left in the series going next week to Lucas Oil and following it up with Cedar Lake. Hopefully we hear back again in those 2 weeks.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks, sir. You have a good night. And there you have it, Evan Hinkle in that 7 machine. Next up, we're going to hear from the 157 driver. That's going to be Drew Hopkins. And Drew, do you got a copy?
Sir, I got you.
Man, that was a good battle there between you and Bobby. I know that Bobby apologized to you during the race for doing the slide job and getting in contact with you on your nose, but you never gave up. It looked like it didn't affect you or anything, and you're right there still on a bumper for the most part of the race. We ended up missing that where he made the pass on you all the way. Was that whenever he made the pass on you, was that slide job?
Yeah, I mean, it was Bobby. He's a really good guy, and I just didn't see him coming until, like you said, he got a push there, which it does happen here, especially if it's a big setup. It did push on that, but Bobby's a good dude. I know he wasn't running dirty, and I just seen it too late, and I didn't get cut down in time. Running on monitor is hard to tell his space coming up, but it was fun. What really killed me there, once he got by me, I was trying to get back up through there. I killed it going into 1 and 2, and I think it just made something. Usually I can get a good run down the back stretch here. This is kind of like a diamond line, and it never really come in. I think it was from that contact with the wall there trying to get back to Bobby.
Yes, sir. And you did come out with the Big Al's Guns halfway leader tonight as you were leading that lap number 25.
Yeah, I knew I had that. I knew we had that award, so that's why I tried to get to the lead early. And early, I think I was the only one that could really just slow row the bottom 1 and 2 and make up a lot of speed. And then 3 and 4, once I got out to that lead there, got to that traffic, honestly, I was going about half throttle, just saving tires and trying not to get the heavy lap traffic. I think the lap traffic here, anything can happen. So I was just trying to save because I knew there'd be a caution. But honestly, I think that's the cleanest race, like caution-wise, I think we've had all year. The smallest track.
Yeah, it was pretty clean for the most part. We didn't get our first caution until after the halfway point, really, I think.
Yeah, we set some new rules after last week at Eldora, and I think everybody went on to that, the new rules that we have. So I think it helped. Cleaned up the race quite a bit. And I think we're at Lucas Oil next week. I don't know. I think we should have the points lead now. Caleb ran. I think he had a tough night getting contact, losing spoiler there. So should get the points lead back, and we'll go Lucas Oil next week. We're really good there usually. Then we're at Cedar Lake. That's always if you want for me. We can roll middle bottom. We'll be all right. Usually it gets up around there, around that wall, and the fishing builds up. So we'll just have to try to survive. I think the last race 100 laps, so it'll be a survival race.
Yes, sir. And do you have any friends, family, or sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first and foremost, just the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Everybody in our racing group at DHR, Caleb, Evan, Nolan, he didn't make it tonight. Jace, Josh Davis, Tyler, Brady. And if I miss anybody, just all of them guys. Shout out to all them, and just Majority Speed Shop and contracting, and just thank you for broadcasting.
Yes, sir. No problem at all. And like you mentioned earlier, with Cedar Lake and USA, or next 2 races, Lucas Oil and Cedar Lake.
Yep.
Hopefully, we hear back again from you in those 2 races, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. You have a good night. And there you have it, your second place finisher of Drew Hopkins in the 157. We're going to hear from your winner here tonight, as that's going to be the 30 machine of Bobby Mattingly. And Bobby, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I sure do.
All night, you and Drew kind of put on a show, and that was fun to watch as the broadcaster, and I'm sure the viewers loved it as well. Late in that race, it seemed like the track kind of just went to the top side of the track, and seemed like that's where you felt comfortable running at.
It moved. There at the beginning of the race, of course, it was pretty much around the bottom, and I was just trying to keep pace with Drew, and we had that restart, and of course I started on the outside, and I was like, well, here we go. Let's see if the top's in, and I hit and was able to keep up with him, and then we had that other restart, and I did not mean to park it on him. I did it bad. I was trying to keep it down off of him and couldn't, and we got together and we talked a little bit in here before you pulled me in, and I apologized to him 100 times because I don't try to race anybody like that because I don't want to be raced like that. And but I think we're good. I think he thinks it was just a racing deal, which it was, but it was pretty much my fault. But after that, was able to keep it out front and pretty tickled with getting the dub.
And getting a win from with this group of guys, man, that's always a feat in itself. It seems like.
Oh, definitely. There's some stiff competition here. And, actually, I've been on the sim for about a little over 5 years. I've ran several leagues, and this is the first win I've ever got in a league race. I've won officials and hosted and stuff like that, but as far as the league race, it's the first one I've ever won.
Well, I'm glad that we're able to do your first interview with the league race here. And, I mean, congratulations on that aspect of finally getting a win on a league race.
Yeah, I've run second several times. Had a chance to win a few in other leagues. It just wasn't meant to be, and I guess tonight it was meant to be. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And do you have any friends, family, or sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to, man?
Of course, I got to thank my guys in Discord. T-Mat Speed Shop, Big Al's Guns, Keltner Contracting, Hugo's Trucking, FMS Rapid Graphics for the wrap. My wife for letting me come in here and do this on a Sunday night, and you for broadcasting, and Evan and the guys that put on the league. It's a competitive league, and it's something fun to do on Sunday nights.
Yes. And again, none of us would be able to do it without our sponsors that we have for the league, for those drivers. So, huge shout out to all the sponsors of the drivers in the league here.
Of course.
Congratulations again on your win here tonight, and hopefully we hear back from you within the next 2 weeks, as taking on Lucas and Cedar to close out the season.
Yeah, hopefully. Trying to tighten the points up a little bit. Hopefully it works out. We'll see what happens.
Yes, sir. You have a good night, man.
You too. Thanks, buddy.
Yep. And there you have it, your winner of Bobby Mattingly. And kind of recap the results once again. This Bobby Mattingly, Drew Hopkins, Evan Hinkle, Dalton Brown moved up 7 spots. Again, this is your unofficial results. As I look through the scoring list here, Dalton Brown, who finished in 4th, is going to be your Todd. Make sure I can say that. Todd Steel Building's hard charger. Again, that's going to be your unofficial hard charger going to Dalton Brown. Jay Slater rounds out your top 5. Cody McDonald in 6th. Matthew Terry 7th. Justin Benefield in 8th. And Brian Swafford 9th. Blaine Shepard rounds out your top 10. And thanks for joining in here tonight on a Sunday night. And if you don't join in beforehand, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Everyone have a good night, and we will catch you tomorrow with the Two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions Sports Late Model League starting up tomorrow. So everyone have a good night.
Checkered flag flying, it's the end of the show. From dirt to the blacktop, we let it all go. Burning rubber, slamming gears, making hearts race. If you miss the heat, catch the highlight, press play. Alright, rear racing lights out, that's a wrap. From the front straight to the back, we attacked every lap. Don't blink, don't sleep, we'll be back in your feed. With the throttle wide open and a need for speed. all the drama, the thrill, the slide jobs and spins. Legends born in the booth and on tracks we win. Facebook, YouTube, hit subscribe and stay loud. We ain't slowing down, just saving it for the next round. Broadcast signed off, but the fire still burns. Catch us next time, where the story continues at full send. Alright, we're racing.